Hey guys, welcome aboard the Just Tainow shit with your host Santai. Hey. Hey guys, I'm bringing y'all this video today. It's of Bill Burr, a world famous comedian from New York. I've been following his comedy for a couple years now. Been saw him on his podcast, and he was talking about magic mushrooms. So, you know, over here on the Santai podcast, the Just Tainow show, a place where we combine our minds with our hearts, see what our gut mind is saying, connect all those three circles, and let whatever come out just come on out. This is the kind of place where we do those kind of things. And so with psychedelics, you know, we're real heavy on these kind of experiences and lowering the stigmatism in a way through people, personal experiences being just tied on, not getting so lost in the heart, not getting so lost in the mind, but seeing what the gut is saying, connecting all those three circles. Let whatever come out, come on out. If it was scary, if it was scary. If it's challenge, it's challenge. If it was beautiful, it was beautiful. If it was unfathomable, it was unfathomable. If it was ineffable, you can't say anything, then hey, just say I had awesome. Well, I don't even know. And then we tie on the things that happen after the experience, because sometimes you can't put words on it, but the things that happen afterwards, how life start taking place, you can butter on the bread. But yeah, without further ado, let's Bill Burr.
I don't know if I should tell you this story. Should I tell you the story?
All right, here we go.
I'll tell you the story. All right. So what do people do when they go out to the desert, right? They always take fucking mushrooms or peyote or whatever. So I finally decided, like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to try it. So my buddy told me to only take like 4. All right. So in my head, I'm like, okay, that means I should take 6. All right. Because he's trying to ease me into this thing. It's like, I'm only going to do this once. I'm never going to do it again. I want to fucking see shit talking to me, right? So I say to my wife, I'm going to take 6. And she was like, well, why would you take 6? He told you to take 4. So I'm like, all right, you're probably right. You're probably right. All right. So the kids are in bed. It's a 4-hour ride. It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going in. Right. So I take this shit. One pill makes you nervous. Right. So I take this shit. And it didn't take long. Like 40 minutes later, it hit me. And it just kind of felt like I ate like a fucking pot cookie or something. And I don't know.
That's something that people always get in the beginning. And that's something that beginners do a lot. I did that too. This for just research purposes as well. For the record, is that people say, "Oh, I didn't take enough," or "I need to take more." But when you tie on it, you're going to take exactly what you were supposed to do. You'll start seeing that kind of thing happen.
There was a couple of times, like the toilet looked like it was breathing, you know, or like a painting kind of looked like it was moving. But other than that, I wasn't like seeing shit, right? Which kind of bugged me. I was like, fuck, I knew I should have taken 6, right? But the whole time I was like nauseous. I was like, what is this? Is this like fucking heroin? Like you puke or something? And I don't know.
Unlike heroin, there has been no recorded deaths off of psilocybin mushroom use. And the nauseous feeling usually comes up when you eat food sometimes. And it's because the fungus has to digest inside your belly. So it takes longer to digest as opposed to other foods that's in your body. So your body would prioritize digesting the fungus, and that takes a lot more work. So you probably like get real rumbles in the tummies and stuff like that. And the nauseous feeling, if you practice deep breathing techniques, and help you through the nauseous phase. Through the nauseous phase, as well as cannabis. Cannabis helps. Right, have a little brownie beforehand, or if you smoke a bit. And as well, we do not condone the use of illegal or legal drugs on this channel. This is all for research only. But yeah, Bill Burr was tying on.
It was all right. I didn't like trip. I just kind of got into a weirder sort of, it felt like I ate weed or something, right? I know there's all these mushroom people going like, oh, man, dude, you should have. Because everybody I know takes mushrooms like, oh, my God, dude. And like,
Before we get to that part, I know y'all anxious to know what he was about to say, but to tie on that part about not really hallucinating and it feeling similar to cannabis. All of these, they act on different neurons inside of your body, inside of your brain. I know the endocannabinoid system with the cannabis. We have endogenous cannabinoids already in our brain and throughout our whole nervous system as well. So smoking helps with that. I mean, helps promote more stimulation in that. And with the mushrooms, it's going to give you similar feelings in low dose as well. I want to throw in there at a low dose, and as well, MAOIs, which are amani oxide inhibitors or amani oxide, and if it's MOAI, amani oxide inhibitors and fast food a lot, it can stop a lot of what's going on with when you eat the mushroom, and it will stop the processes from being as potent as it would be. Because most fast foods have an MOAO in there. Sorry, it don't have the inhibitor. If it had the inhibitor in there, then it would be more potent, but it don't. So it can slow down things and not have people experience what a lot of the other people experience. But the story continues. The story continues because we always get something.
I understand myself. And I understand, like, fucking the universe, and I'm one with it. And I was looking at all people and just feeling nothing but love. That didn't happen for me. I think because I've been facing all of these fucking things that I've been running from, it kind of went the other way. Like, after I was done kind of, like, shit, like, vibrating and stuff, and I was sort of coming down, I was left with this profound sense of sadness and loneliness. And I was even thinking about people that I knew loved me, and I was still feeling that.
And that's really important too. Already facing some things before you get into it. That way all the scary stuff that people say would pop up, or the paranoia thoughts, and people say, I just gotta sit, I just gotta do this, or else. Them kind of things, that's a real spiritual truth he's saying right there. Deal with your shit.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? This is crazy, right? So, whatever. I went to bed, and then the next morning when I woke up, I think I pieced it together. It was actually a good thing.
Isn't it funny how at first he said they ain't do nothing, they ain't work or nothing, anything like that, and now you see how he come saying, oh well, yeah, I was left with the sadness and stuff. Now the next day,
bring it all surface, and it's part of like all of this shit that I'm fucking finally dealing with. I also made me realize that I kind of sleptwalked through my 30s and 40s. All I was doing was trying to achieve shit. Because really, that's why I got into this business, was I'm going to do shit that's going to make people laugh, and then people are going to stop fucking with me. I swear to God. It goes back to like the 8-year-old me. And then because I thought being on stage, everybody just automatically liked you. And also Twitter didn't exist.
I know they like
Mongoloid, right? I thought if I did that, everybody would like me, people would stop fucking with me. And then I also thought, like, because I was afraid to talk to, girls and shit when I was younger, I was like, they see me on stage and they'll come up to me. I don't have to break the ice. None of that was true. You still, as a comedian, I think with a musician, you can kind of sort of brood off in the corner. And they'd be like, hey, I really like your ukulele. You want to hang out or something? As a fucking comic, you still have to fucking... Not only do you still got to work for it, they want you to be funny every 8 fucking seconds, like what they just saw you doing. So, yeah. So then that made me start watching stand-up and everything.
Isn't it wild how he was saying that? Like going back to the childhood, that's what magic mushrooms give a lot of people the ability to actually do. Because a lot of people actually do not remember a lot of things that happened during their childhood, and they constantly working off the experiences that traumatized them during their childhood. Even some awesome things, we forget good things that happened because of traumatizing situations. It seems that fear always overrides the memory over top most of the time overrides the memory bank, and be like, oh yeah, that shit was scary. Unless it was totally beautiful and he was able to see it in that moment. And mushrooms for me has allowed me to go into my past and see things that I didn't even like visually remembered, but I was able to visually remember and see, and then work on it afterwards and say, and then look at my life as you see him doing. And that's the power these have, because we thinking, we looking around, going to all these idols and things like that, like celebrities or psychiatrists or the church, religion, any other thing outside of ourselves, and trying to say, oh well, what happened to me? Why am I like this? Why am I like this? And expecting them to know everything about you. So, so all right. So yeah, we back. Sorry, the microphone issue. Streaming is kind of live, but what I'm gonna do is turn the microphone on.
Yeah. So then that made me start watching stand up and everything. And then also stop paying attention in school and just keep fantasizing about like just crazy shit. Like everything from fucking being the nude lead singer from AC/DC to like winning the Medal of Honor. Like just fucking bananas, like hero fantasies. And all of it came down to me not liking myself and not understanding all this bullshit that was happening to me. But along the way, because of that, I really got into stand-up comedy, and then I just wanted to be a comedian. But like, if I really get boiled down to it, that's the reason why I did it. I got into it, and I think all of that shit that I then, my 20s was figuring out stand-up and meeting all these great people that I'm now been friends with forever. But my 30s and 40s, I just fucking, plowed through. And didn't deal with all of this fucking shit that it's embarrassing. Like, I feel like I should have dealt with it by the time I was like 21, 22. And now I'm 52, going to be 53. So I think that that's what the tail end of that little experience was out there. So it was a good thing, as much as it wasn't like, I think if you kind of like yourself, I think if you like yourself and you're at peace with shit that's happened to you, the people in your life or who were in your life or whatever, I think if you're at peace, or not even if you're not at peace, if you've just fucking like gone through sadness and allowed yourself to feel sad, cried or whatever, but as opposed to being like, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a shit, I don't care, I don't give a fuck, right? If you just fucking do that. Or maybe I'm just being fucking narcissistic right now and thinking that my experience will be your experience if you had roughly the same sort of thing. But
the thing to tie on that Y'all know, a lot of us have put up a lot of fields and then seem like we angry at the world, but we still just making it work. But it's like this layer, this thing that's built up, that's thoughtful, planned out. Can't break his layer. Like, you can't fuck with me type vibe all the day, all night. Like, where does that stem from? And is that really the fullness of us? And with the magic mushroom experiences, it seems that when people interact with it, it breaks this mold that didn't seem to be a mold in the first place. And then people awaken to a greater satisfaction of themselves and see why they were doing the things that they were doing, as we see with our man Bill Burr, saying that he got into the comedian because he didn't want people to fuck with him. And he wanted to get back at people and stuff like that. And he wasn't a fighter, but he had a wittiness about him. He's from New York, or I think probably Boston first. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you watching this Bill Burr, come on the Side Top podcast so we can clear everything even farther out. I would love to do that. So people are now getting experiences of breaking that mold, breaking that shell that's been like a ticking time bomb, really, because every day we're trying to go on vacations, trying to come up with careers, trying to play a role and say, this is who I am. This is what I do. And this is how you're going to see me. And I'm going to promote this. And anything that diminishes this look is you hating. You just hating on me. And it's a false reality what you're trying to paint. And that comes from being a kid. Our imaginations are huge. Our amygdala is working differently, the way that we're taking in experiences, and our amygdala always on go. But the way we're able to interact with our experiences, the DMT levels that's in people's brains when they were kids is different than in adults. The pineal gland becomes classified as you become older, and all these other things that you can literally see in adults. It don't matter if you have money. It don't matter if you do have money. Bill Burr's a millionaire, world famous. People know what he's about. I know what he's about. And then, yeah, he's still with this mushroom journey. It was still something that he had to see for himself. And then with mushrooms, that's why I like to tie things out with other folks, because it's always something that you catching on yourself. It's like you're able to put yourself to the side for moments upon moments upon moments upon moments, instead of just a quick glimpse for like a second or 2 or 5 minutes that you get to sit when schedule and stuff like that. We separate schedule from our life and say that our schedule is not our life. We're going to handle our business and then we're going to go live our life. But yet, what is the difference if we're still breathing the same air in the same situations? We're still using the same muscles in the same situations, rather we're working or dealing with living life. So make life. Life is, and how we've been tying on the channel is, life is to the experience. Life is the work. Life is the job. The same way a manager would manage a newcomer, a new employee and stuff, is the same way we should be managing ourselves. With love, knowing that we can be promoting in ourselves and reach higher levels, but taking the care and having that overseenness of getting the job done at us on time, working with ourselves. So I see a lot of changes happening with studies and experiences with people tying things out with the psilocybin mushrooms, Let's finish this out, see what he got to say.
I would be interested to hear what anybody who's had something like that, or I'll listen to your theories, because I'm trying to figure out why. I think I did. I don't know. It was, I did, whatever. I fucking went to Joshua Tree. I tried to hallucinate. Didn't quite happen. I gave it the old college try. I also think, like, I'm just not, because one of my buddies is going like, what's it like right now? I go, it's like it's growing and it's going to fall, sort of, but not really. It's not like Alice in Wonderland, but it looks like, but I know it isn't. And then somebody else goes, just go with it. Just fucking think the TV's falling on me. I don't know. The whole fucking thing was funny.
Hilarious, Bill Burr. Bill, thanks for sharing that video and uploading it, and even like talking about on your podcast and things like that. Whoop. Cut that off. That was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks for sharing that experience, because you said you're still trying to figure it out, and your friend saying in the end, let it be, and you saying, oh, I don't want to think that the that's an avenue. Oh, let me take for there. That's an avenue that we all come across. A lot of psychonauts come across in their experiences. Where is it? And the experiences as we keep on. Yo, sorry about that. I'm trying to cut off. There we go. Trying to cut off that thing right there. Replace it with this. Just tie. So as I was the fear of letting go. That's something that psychonauts we all come across, is the letting go part. And it comes to us in all different stages. What we need and not really what we want. And later we see that, yeah, I really did need that. I really up call, or that little reset, that little twist in the brain. So the little elves going around and twist some things around, or the healing machine elves, as people call it, just working their magic. So that's something we all come across, letting things that's unknown, like you don't want the TV to fall on you, the fear of death, the full-blown experience. But that comes with Tom, and like you said, it comes with, in the beginning of the trip, in the beginning of the experience, we have the mushroom. Is something that we do is say, I surrender, or breathe, get past even the surrender word, and just know that you're ready for your story. Move with the same confidence that we move with on the stage. Because that's when the real shit really come up and really start popping up, is when we really on the stage. When all life is about what you about, and in those moments, and about how you was affected, how you felt in those moments, how people affected you for the good and for the bad. Or for the way that caused you to not be able to benefit society as much. So, or questions, the comments and stuff that you drop, you know where to drop it in the comments below. Drop a like, hit the subscribe button so that you can know when the next video popping up. Leave some suggestions. If you want to join the art department on the Tainowation Studios, drop me an email, justtai@justtainow.com. Check out all the sites, justtainow.com. And Instagram, TikTok for all the funs and laughs. And send the memes on the justtainow.com so that the Just Laugh Now show can be even more fascinating than they already are. Okay, if you missed it, you need to go check it out. Check it out. Ty always